So hey guys, today we have Vamsi Krishna. He is having 4 years of experience in Java, Spring Boot, and microservices. So those who all are having interest in the same mock interview, please fill out the form below. So hey, hi Vamsi, how are you?
Yeah, hi Fajan, I'm good. And what
Okay,
about you?
yeah, I'm also good. So shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi Fajan. Yeah, myself,
Mm-hmm.
Krishna Jagannathan. So I
Mm-hmm.
have past 4 years of experience in Java backend systems to develop the web
Mm-hmm.
applications by
Okay.
using the Java and J2EE,
Mm-hmm.
Hibernate, Spring Boot,
Mm-hmm.
and I have knowledge on the microservices as well.
Okay.
And mainly, I'm working with Spring Boot monolithic applications. Mainly, I have a
Okay.
more experience on that one. And coming to the
Monolithic.
my project,
Mm-hmm.
so I have worked with the client is eBay.
Okay.
So in eBay, we have the project name is the call miner. So
Okay.
it is a submodule of that eBay application, eBay project. So eBay,
Okay.
it is a e-commerce web application.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
in that, it is a call miner is a submodule of that product. So
Okay.
here mainly what we are doing here. So main objective of that call miner project. So
Mm-hmm.
in eBay, they have their customers, right? So if
Yeah.
the customer have any issue with any product, any building,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
any issue, he need to communicate three ways they have.
Okay.
So one
Okay.
is the email and chat and through voice
Mm-hmm.
calls.
Okay.
And
Okay.
another one we need to get the feedback from the client side, like customer side. So
Mm-hmm.
these are the four pipelines we have divided. So
Okay.
mainly I worked on the two modules. One is the email
Mm-hmm.
transcripts and chat transcripts.
Okay.
So here along with our Java development team, so we have a
Mm-hmm.
data warehouse team as well. So the data
Okay.
warehouse team will provide the metadata info about the
Mm-hmm.
transcripts and email
Mm-hmm.
transcripts details. So we will capture that metadata of info. So this
Mm-hmm.
info coming up in the form of CSV files, comma
Okay.
separate
Okay.
files.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if I can explain the chart transcript for chart pipeline. So
Mm-hmm.
here in the chart module, we are taking on one constraint like chart activity ID. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever the customer has initiated any issue with the agent, the some
Mm-hmm.
chart transcript will be generated. So previously they are storing in the GenZ servers. Now they are
Mm-hmm.
migrating to the Java application Spring Boot. So
Okay.
we are processing the complete chart information
Mm-hmm.
GenZ server to. So now we are
Mm-hmm.
introducing the call manager vendor, different vendor. So we are
Okay.
storing in the data in the
Mm-hmm.
call manager cloud. So how
Okay.
we are
Okay.
processing this flow is, so first we will go through that CSV files. We will pick up
Mm-hmm.
that activity ID. So based on that activity ID, we will grab the chart transcript metadata info. We will
Mm-hmm.
and then we will consume few REST call services that the Carbonary is providing. So we will consume their REST services. We will
Mm-hmm.
processing the chart information to their cloud. So,
Okay.
so this flow happening through email transcripts and voice
Mm-hmm.
calls and survey as well. So these are the main
Okay.
flows we are happening. And
Mm-hmm.
how we are storing these transcripts means based on the locales. So now, as of now, we are introducing only three locales. That is
Mm-hmm.
eBay, US, in the UK, and AU
Okay.
and US. So for
Mm-hmm.
three locales we are introducing. So later on, we have multiple locales, like multiple locations
Mm-hmm.
to deploy their charter transcript
Got
details to the
it.
cloud
Okay, so you are getting CSV file and you are
processing.
searching, finding on the base of activity ID. Okay.
Yes,
So
yeah,
how you are if searching? Can you please tell me how you
yeah,
are getting those data through the activity ID?
yeah. Like here, suppose if okay, so
So
now we are
which operation you are using? I mean, which are you using any DB operation or like what?
no, like I can explain. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, we are deploying our application that traditional approach, like normal Tomcat
Mm-hmm.
deployment, Tomcat server, we are deploying that application in the form of
Okay.
warfare. So they are
Mm-hmm.
providing one remote server.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
server we are deploying the applications. So in that
Okay.
same server itself, the data warehouse team maintaining the metadata info.
Metadata info.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's CSV files. So from that particular directory, we will pick that CSV files. So we are implementing few schedulers. In day wise, we are running the schedulers. Yeah.
Okay.
So while running the schedulers, we will pick that we will load the all
So
CSV files.
where you wrote the commands to run the scheduler?
Yeah, Faija.
Where you load edit the commands to run the scheduler? I mean, which file in which file of project? We have to write some commands to run the
Yeah,
scheduler automatically, right?
yeah. We
Uh,
are using annotations at method level.
okay. So we also write this scheduler things at YAML file or properties file.
Like that. Yes, yeah. In annotation levels, we are declaring the schedulers, right? Maybe in future, if you need to modify the timestamps, we need to use that configuration files like property
Okay,
dot
okay.
file. From the property file, we will capture the details. Yeah, like we
Okay,
are not
okay.
statically declaring the timestamps. We are getting the
Okay, okay.
dynamic. In case if you need
So
to
which model you guys follow on for this project? Like waterfall and
agile,
agile.
agile
Okay,
methodology, we are
agile,
following.
agile. Okay. So can you please tell me like what's your application deployment structure?
Deployment structure, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, we are following the traditional deployment approach only. So,
Okay.
in local mission, we are using the Spring Boot, right? So, the
Mm-hmm.
Spring Boot, we are coming up the embedded Tomcat server. So, we are running in the
Okay.
along with Maven application it is. So we are running that
Mm-hmm.
Maven commands like Maven build
Uh-huh.
commands, and we are generating that var file, distributed var file, particular environment. So like if we are suppose if we are okay with that QA environment, we
Okay.
need to we need to generate according to them. So if you need to get ready for the production, so
Mm-hmm.
production level var file we need to generate. So once we are generating the var file, we
Okay.
will catch the var file, and then we need to connect that from our local machine to that remote server, like
Not
remote
server.
desktop machine. So from there we already set up that manual.
Pipelines.
No pipeline. So
No
there also we
pipeline.
have no pipeline. So there
Okay,
also we have
okay.
the Tomcat's installation
Mm.
as well. So in the Tomcat directory in the web apps we will deploy the directly.
Okay, okay. So you guys use any version control system like GitLab, GitHub,
GitHub we are using versioning.
GitHub. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
GitHub.
Okay, yeah. So moving to some questions. So have you handled exceptions in this application?
Yeah, we handle
So
that.
how do you can you please discuss a situation where you had to handle multiple exceptions in a Java application, your Java application?
Yeah, like as I mentioned, so we are using the Colminer third-party APIs. We are consuming their
Mm-hmm.
APIs.
Okay.
So how we are integrating their third-party APIs through REST template?
Uh,
We are consuming that RESTful API what they are providing. So whenever we are using the REST template, it may be chances are
mm-hmm.
there to raise the REST client exception while
Okay.
consuming the REST
REST
API.
client X.
So
Okay.
yeah, so in that scenario, we have to maintain that risky code in try block. So we need to handle that exception logic in catch block.
Okay. So are you guys not added global exception or custom
Yeah,
exceptions?
yeah, global
Added?
exception. Yes, we had. Yeah, like
Can you
yes,
tell me the few custom exception names you have added, or your team, or your in your project?
yeah, like in the global exceptions, we if we need to implement the global exceptions, we
Mm-hmm.
extend the exception class. We need to, and
Okay.
then we have few annotations in the Spring as well. So like
Mm-hmm.
at REST controller advice as well.
Okay.
That annotation is taken care by, and then if suppose if we have any input data to while processing we are calling any REST API, any API, so we need to handle property level validations we can perform.
Okay.
So these validations we can by using we can use some default annotations as well. So like at not blank at
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how do you prioritize which exceptions to catch?
prioritize which exceptions. Okay, so these are all comes under spring validations access, spring validations and those exceptions. Then if you need to handle any custom exceptions, like yeah, in the method level we need to declare at exception handler annotations is there. So we
Mm-hmm.
use that annotations.
Okay. Okay. So how do you ensure how do you ensure like exceptions and logs all these are like working properly and handled gracefully in your application?
We are perfect. Like which means like we need to execute a smooth execute. We need
Means how do you ensure that exceptions are logged and handled perfectly in your application?
okay, okay. Instead of declare the like stack trace, we will use that log error. So in that
Mm-hmm.
log error, so in log dot error we will declare, we will get that message get localized
Okay.
message or else error message we will get,
Uh-huh.
and then we will
Okay.
display that log error message as well. So then we can identify in the logs.
Okay, okay. So, can you moving to the different question? Can you tell me the difference between both abstract class and interfaces? Like scenario where you have used both abstract class and interfaces.
Abstract classes interfaces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So abstract class may have only one abstract method. No.
Okay.
By default, method has to be abstract class exactly.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And interfaces, you can say.
Okay. So
So
basically, I think in my project, I use interfaces to define operations like save, update, and delete. Whereas abstract classes to provide shared logic like validation and error handling and common tool document type, something like that. So have you used also the same thing?
yes, we have used like we can achieve the loose coupling instead of creating the classes. We can define the interfaces. We can implement that
Mm-hmm.
implementation for the concrete
Okay.
classes. Yeah.
Mhm. So, like, what was the relation, I mean, behind, like, what's the approach behind choosing an abstract class over interface or vice versa? I mean, have you encountered these things before? Like, which to choose, abstract class or interface?
I think basically most of those times we are choosing with the interface reference approaches only.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But abstract classes related a better can I'm not sure that one. I think most of the times we are using the interface reference approaches.
Okay, okay. Can you tell me about garbage collection in Java?
Yeah, garbage collections. Yeah, in Java we have the garbage collector. So
Mm-hmm,
if basically garbage collector is responsible for, so it automatically identifying and it is there any
mm-hmm,
object is no longer in use.
mm-hmm.
So then that object will
Then
be
frees up the memory,
free
right?
up the memory spaces and then
Mm.
taking care by the garbage collector. If so,
Okay.
yeah,
Mm, okay. Like, which garbage collection strategies did you choose and why?
strategy like to prevent the memory leaks.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to choose that. Internally, it's working by in the JVM itself.
Okay. So, do you know like Java is 100% object-oriented programming language or not?
Yeah, it's a programming language,
Uh,
object.
it, okay, so it is 100% object-oriented or what?
Yeah, I think 100% object-oriented programming.
Okay. So I think Java is partially object-oriented programming language. No, we cannot say like it's 100% because in Java language we have some primitive data types.
Yeah.
So like int, these are not
Yes.
classes and objects, something like that. So that's why Java is not 100% object-oriented programming language. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So uh, in what situation did you decide to make classes, method, or variables finals? Can you please tell me?
Yeah, final. Yeah, final. It is a keyword. Once if we declare any variable in the final, so we
We
cannot be
cannot.
modified.
Yeah,
And then
correct.
if you can declare any method in it's a final
Mm-hmm.
method, so we cannot be overridden. Like we cannot be inherited in the child
Mm-hmm.
classes. And then if
Correct,
you
correct.
if you can declare class as a final, so you
Mm.
cannot extend the class like any other classes try to cannot be create the object of that class. We
So, what's the
instantly.
use case? I just want to know, like, when the same situation will come when just want to use method as final. So, what's that situation?
Which situation you have to use means so.
I means, what would be the use case? Like we know if method is declared as a final, we cannot override it. But
Yeah.
in what case? In what situation?
Suppose okay. Suppose if we are creating any database connections in that scenario, we can use it the method. So we need to create only one database connection object. So we can use that object to.
Okay.
Is it right? Is it
Yeah.
valid?
Yeah, it is, I think, valid. So yeah, go ahead. Now. move to the variable as a final.
So variable, like if you can say, so you properties username passwords.
Mm,
Suppose maybe okay. Employee IDs.
yeah, security key, something like that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So, have you used final keyword in your project anywhere, like in class, method, or
I
fields?
think finally keyword. I think maybe we declare for few methods only for the two
Final methods.
only. Yeah, not variable level,
Okay.
class
Okay.
level.
Okay. So, can you describe any performance issues or consideration that we have related to using final class? I mean, is it increase the performance or decrease? Like, you know?
Performance wise, decreases. Not sure. I think.
Okay, so actually the use of final keyword allowed for compile time optimization like method inlining, so which can lead to performance improvements by reducing call overhead. So yeah, yes, it is related to the performance also, final keyword.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Okay, okay, so can you please tell me about polymorphism?
Yeah, polymorphism, like we can say, like one name, multiple forms. Like if the name itself consists of
Mm-hmm.
poly
Mm-hmm.
means one and form is many. One name,
Many
multiple forms we can declare.
multiple forms.
Suppose if you can take any list interface, like the list interface have multiple classes, implementation classes like array list
Mm-hmm.
and linked list and vector. So
Okay.
here also we have two types of polymorphism. Like one is compile time, so we can achieve that overloading mechanism here, and then another one is runtime polymorphism we can achieve in the two overriding approaches here as well.
Okay. Okay. So, can you please tell me an example where polymorphism solved a design problem or architecture level problem? Do you know?
Architecture level problem, this scenario I think I'm not sure, like where I
Okay.
have used it in my project.
Mm-hmm.
We can say
So, I
typical.
think in a reporting system, I mean, reporting system is maybe one of the example. So,
Hmm.
where for different types of reports to be generated using a single interfaces or something like that, and there might multiple example. So, yeah, no worries. Do you know about HashMap and HashSet?
HashMap,
Yeah, HashMap and HashSet.
hash it as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think set and map, hash map and hash it. Yes, yeah.
Can you explain?
So, like, yeah, if you want to store in group of objects in the sum of key value pairs, so you can
Mm-hmm.
use that map interface to implement extend that class as a hash map class.
Okay.
And then here also in the hash map, duplicate keys does not allow, and duplicate values can be allowed. And then only one null key is be able to insert, and then multiple null values can be able to insert in the hash map. And
Okay.
hash set is, you can say here so here also is same thing, so we can group of objects we can,
Okay.
so group of object as a single entity, like here we cannot insert the duplicate keys, and then
Mm-hmm.
insertion order also not preserved here, like in this.
So how they are working internally, HashMap and HashSet? Do you know?
Yeah, internal hash map, yes, yeah, no, so internally it is in the linked list. So like if you suppose if
Okay.
I'm getting any object of that hash map, so
Mm-hmm.
default size should be 16, and it will be create in 0th index to 15th index. Internally it will be create 16 array of buckets. So
Okay.
every bucket has one node, so internally node has a linked list. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever we are trying to inserting any value while calling the put
Mm-hmm.
method, so based on the
Mm-hmm.
key hash code value, based on, sorry, we are
Okay.
putting any value like as in the form of key value, so key
Mm-hmm.
based on key hash code, so we will get some one index, and for that index we can able to insert that in the node. So
Okay.
how in the linked list also we how we can store it. So first we are storing a
Mm-hmm.
hash code, and then value key and value, and the next one is pointing to the next node references. So in this manner it is storing. And then
Okay.
hash safety, how we can say it is not index based, it's not
Mm-hmm.
listed. It is sequential inserting. I think linear. I think internally
So
how
you
we,
said HashMap is based on linked list, right?
yeah,
Uh,
that is also
in current Java versions as well.
yeah, current Java version. Previously, it has been using that linked
Yeah,
list.
previously
Now,
it was implemented in linked list. That is on
like
that I agree.
I think it
But
starts. Yeah,
in the
I think
in
the
the latest
name
version like Java 17, Java 11, and Java 8,
8 also. Yeah, I think that
the
name
implementation is changed
changed.
from
Yes, yeah,
the
implementation
8
changed.
onwards. Hmm.
That was I can like starts with some
Yeah, red black tree.
red block tree. Yeah,
Yeah, so
red block tree. Yeah,
yeah,
that
it
one.
was very. I mean, the complexity was lower in the through the linked list. Okay, so that's why from the Java 8 onwards, they have introduced red black tree internally in the hash map. Now it is more
Yeah,
efficient. Yeah,
red
yeah.
block tree.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that too in the yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so can you tell me, so which Java, I mean, which Java version you use, like 8, 11, 17, or
Yeah,
what?
I think it's 1.8 only. We are using the current project.
Java 8.
Yeah, 1.8 only still.
Okay, okay, okay. So what were the new features that were introduced in Java 8 that was not available previously? Can you please tell me?
Yeah, I think we have multiple features in Java 8. Mainly, I have used one is that the streams, and then
Stream
optional
API,
also, yeah, optional
optional
also
class,
have used,
mm-hmm.
and lambda expressions, and then
Lambda
for the
exception.
date related operations for we are using the datetime API. So these four
Okay.
mainly I have used
Mm-hmm.
for so
So
yeah.
what's the purpose of Java Stream APIs? Why they were introduced?
Yeah, if suppose if we, so by using streams we can perform
Mm-hmm.
so multiple operations over here. So we
Okay.
basically we can collect the list of objects we can perform collection
Mm-hmm.
a functional level programming we can implement here. So in the streams we have multiple methods like filter and map and
Mm-hmm.
collects, and then here we by using these streams we can like mapping and filtering and reducing and sorting these techniques we can implement here. So
Okay.
suppose if you suppose if I will give an example. If you have one list
Mm-hmm.
of integers we
Mm-hmm.
have, so we can iterate through normal for loop and enhanced for loop or else for any for each method as well. So thus
Okay.
instead of implementing those traditional approach we can use the streams as well here. So to iterate, sorry, to filter that list of
Mm-hmm.
integers to find based on our conditions. Suppose we have list of integers, maybe we need to find in even numbers. So then we can filter that by using the filter method, and
Mm-hmm.
then then if you want to once we will filter that values, then if we need to
Okay.
perform any other operations, like if once we will get that
Mm-hmm.
list of integers, like sorry, list of
Mm-hmm.
even numbers, if we need to perform any other operations, which means we need to double or else we need to multiply value. So we can implement that condition in the map interface by using some predicates as well. So and then we will
Okay.
so this kind of operation we can perform. So these operation we can use before as well. So
Before as
here
well.
it is completely some functional approaches we can implement.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Optimization is also increased, like
Yeah,
efficiency and
yeah,
optimization.
yeah.
Mm. Okay, okay. So can you
And
tell, so,
yes,
so as we previously discussed about HashMap, right? So can you tell me I mean, in the brief, the description of hash code and equal method, a
hash code
brief
and
description.
equals,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So internally it is we they are calling the hash code and equals method. So how it
Mm-hmm.
is working? So suppose if you are trying to inserting one putting one value key and
Mm-hmm.
value objects.
Mm-hmm.
So first it will get the hash code value, hash
Okay.
code of that key value. So
Uh-huh.
based on the once you get that key hash code, and then it will find out that index value, and then it will store into
Mm.
that node. So that is one
Okay.
approach. So suppose if you are trying to insert another key, it may be a suppose if you are okay. Previously, I am inserting one object, and then
Mm-hmm.
second time I am also inserting another object. It may be written same hash code values for two objects. Yeah, suppose
Okay.
you can assume two objects are returning same hash code value. In that scenario, how we are inserting means, so first you will get that index of that hash code values, and then here
Mm-hmm.
internally equals method calls, and it will be verified. So hash code
Mm-hmm.
values, it will be same or not. If it is
Not.
hash code values is same, so we cannot insert. So we here, so we cannot insert the
Uh,
duplicate keys, right? So it won't be allowed to insert the value. So here
mm-hmm.
internally hash code and equals method, it will be work out. So
Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so one more thing. So, like in collection framework like HashMap, linked list, array list, anyone, why don't we use primitive data types in those? Like,
two data types.
I mean,
Yeah,
you see, like we add like integer caps I, nt,
yeah.
egr
In generics,
instead
yeah,
of
we cannot declare.
int, simple small int. So why don't we use those primitive data types?
Yeah, suppose if we are creating any list object as well while performing any generics, we have to pass the wrapper classes, or like it may be string, integer, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Integers
Mm-hmm.
into float to this cannot, we cannot pass. Why means we can say, so those can be primitive data types cannot allow. Yes,
Okay, okay.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So no
Yeah,
problem. Moving to the different question. So, as you said, you worked on APIs, right?
yeah. We have
So,
consumed REST
yeah, yeah. So
services.
how will you secure APIs, or how
Like
do you secure APIs?
yeah, like whatever you are implementing the REST services.
Yeah. So REST services.
Yeah, so we have one concept in the Spring Boot, yeah, like Spring Security. So while adding the Spring Security dependency,
Mm-hmm.
we need to achieve that to say Spring Security for our endpoints. So like how
Mm-hmm.
it means we have few annotations. Like we need to enable annotations as well, at enable app security annotations at method level, at
Mm-hmm.
main class
Mm-hmm.
level. We have to declare, and then
Okay.
we need to configure security configurations in Java class level. So
Okay.
here we have to implement extend the one class is there, web security
Uh-huh.
config adapter. So
Okay.
here we can implement our logic as well. So based on what are the API REST services we are implementing, so we can provide the security for them. So based on that,
Okay.
we have few authentications and authorizations as well. So it
Mm-hmm.
provide Spring it is providing default form-based authentications as well,
Yeah,
default
yeah, yeah.
login and logout approaches, and then we
Mm-hmm.
can provide their permissions, and by using the roles and permissions and so roles and permissions as well, we can secure them.
Okay. So can we secure any method, any only method if I want to secure a particular method?
Yeah, we have few annotations as well. Like at method level, we have few annotations at pre-authorized and
Mm-hmm.
post-authorized, and
Mm-hmm.
at secure annotations as well. We can
Okay,
do it,
okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
then if you want to any authentications possible, it not only form-based authentications, we have some token-based authentications as well, like JWT. So
Okay,
we
okay.
can implement
Mm-hmm.
instead of for following default form-based, we can customize our own login page as well.
Mm-hmm.
So here as well, we can do it.
Okay. So in your, I'm not sure, but maybe you have used some collection sort in your project like arrays.sort, collections.sort. Have you used somewhere?
Radar sorting technique, not it used, but yeah, you can ask me anything. I will try to
Okay,
answer
okay,
it.
okay. So can you tell me like, do you know about arrays dot sort, right? So do you
Yes, yeah.
know the algorithm internally working on this method arrays dot sort
Sort internal
and collections dot sort?
collection and sort. No internal implementation of sort methods for arrays and collections. No, not yet.
Yeah. So basically arrays dot sort uses a dual pivot quicksort algorithm.
Okay.
Okay, like if we have primitive data types, if we have like object arrays, then it use team sort. Whereas collection dot sort algorithm uses team sort only.
Okay.
It's a hybrid sorting algorithm that combines merge sort and insertion sort both.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So do you know about WebFlux and Mono in Spring Boot?
WebFlux.
Yeah, WebFlux.
No, not that used.
Okay, so WebFlux is a reactive programming framework in Spring Boot for building non-blocking web applications. Okay, and
Okay.
Mono is a reactive type in a WebFlux, representing a single or empty value. It is used for asynchronous programming.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, okay. So, can you tell me the difference between controller annotation and REST controller annotation?
Yeah. Rest controller and rest controller.
Mm-hmm.
In Spring MVC, we are using that controller annotations to make the
Mm-hmm.
class as a controller. So we can
Mm-hmm.
declare that
Okay.
controller
Mm-hmm.
annotations. That
Mm-hmm.
controller. So if we are so this class as it returns maybe
Mm-hmm.
sorry, the class has been written in the form of string objects. Internally, it resolves the by using few view resolvers. We are using it
Okay.
at controller classes and sorry at rest controller annotations we are declaring class as at rest controller. So then we can implement our REST services, REST endpoint APIs,
Mm-hmm.
and then it come up with on top of it components like at controller and along with the response body as well.
Okay.
And then if you yeah, it returns and string and as a JSON object it will be returned. What are the methods that we have
Mm.
declared in the REST controller class? It
So REST
returns string object,
controller is a combination of controller and
and
response body
response
annotation.
body. Yeah, it's combination of
Mm. Okay, okay.
it returns both
So,
string and JSON objects as well.
okay, okay. So what are the best practices of REST API?
Best practices, best
While
API.
writing REST APIs, what are the best practices?
Yeah, like if you are implementing any REST services, suppose if you are taking any basic code operations, so first you
Mm-hmm.
have to define the versioning techniques. Like if you are, for suppose if you are developing,
Mm-hmm.
implementing one version of Java and Spring Boot techniques, so first we need
Okay.
to declare at the class level versioning URLs like
Mm-hmm.
V1, V2, V3. So maybe in future we have to be upgrade our versions, right?
Okay,
So
okay,
we have to
correct,
follow one
correct.
approach, and then we need to prepare what are the APIs we are implementing. We need to provide the documentation for that APIs, like Swagger
Mm.
documentations
Yes,
for
yes,
the
yes,
testing.
correct.
Yeah, that is one thing. And then suppose we have any UI point of view. So what kind of response they're accepting? It may be XML, it may be JSON.
Mm.
So we need to
Mm.
define. We need to declare and define ourselves from backend side. And then what type of status code we need to send out. It may be a
Mm.
success response if 200 or else 201 also we can able to send it, and then 202 also we can able to send it for success response. But we
Okay.
maybe name has been different, and then we have to perform error validations and error response. We need to take
Mm.
care. And then if we have multiple APIs, in that APIs we have any secure
Mm-hmm.
related APIs instead of default home pages. We need to secure the what are the REST APIs we are implementing. We need to secure by using some
Mm-hmm.
string security mechanisms. And then suppose if I am sending one request query to the database to
Mm.
fetch all employees. So I will get that all the employees details instead of displaying all the employees details to the front
Mm-hmm.
end or else in the postman. So I will
Mm-hmm.
use some techniques like filter and sorting and page nations. Maybe
Okay, okay.
how they are maintaining the front end side in the browser point of view. So we
Mm.
will implement our side as well, like paging and sorting and these techniques.
Mm.
We have to follow while the implementation.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. So, yeah, nice. So, moving ahead, can you tell me the difference between component, service, and repository annotation?
Service component service and repository annotations.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So first I will tell about the basically repositories we have to perform any database related operations. So suppose we
Mm-hmm.
have an interface with that interface extending string data, some data JPA
Mm-hmm.
repository. So
Mm-hmm.
so if you that is not mandatory to declare the at repository annotations for the
Okay.
repositories. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to declare, you can able to declare. But basically, this
Okay.
is for the database perform operations to perform using from predefined methods, or else we can
Okay.
implement some custom queries as well. So we can maintain that logic in the repositories.
Mm-hmm.
So we can assign. So then we can identify these interfaces, maybe these classes for repository section. And then coming to the
Okay.
service layer. So here we have to maintain some completely business logic. So
Business logic.
we to identify that business logic in the service layer,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
component or else maybe it's any controller. So here we are maintaining the our request endpoint URLs. So
Okay.
what request is coming from browser point of view or else any postman point of view, that request HTTP request we have to handle the controller or else maybe component classes. So we can
Okay. So,
identify
can
it.
we use component annotation on our service file or
repository.
database files, classes. Instead of service annotation, can we use component annotation in service class?
Yeah, we can use it. I think. Yeah, because
Okay.
it means we can inject in the dependencies, right? It
Yeah,
will
so
be
we
clear.
can use it,
We
right?
can use it, but for practice, like best practice wise, we cannot declare like this. We can implement.
So why, I mean, why it's a best practice to use service annotation instead of component in service class, even when component is also a working thing.
Mm, like
Okay, so
as yeah,
basically, there is one thing. Component annotation is a like a generic thing. Okay, we can use anywhere on service file on
mm,
repository file, but we use service annotation because it
sex
contains component annotation things as well, plus some additional service file related things and errors.
on top of it.
Yeah, on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so can you explain the Spring Bean life cycle?
Yeah, Spring Bean lifecycle. Yeah, here the responsible for creating the beans and
Mm-hmm.
destroying the beans. So it will taken care by that. Like here we have few methods like init and destroy as well. So like
Mm-hmm.
in instantiations and
Mm-hmm.
here we have bean post processor as also is there. Explain
Uh,
clearly
okay. Yes, we have some annotations like post construct, pre destroy, all those stuff.
annotations. Yeah, can
Okay, so
say
what
exact.
are,
Yes, yeah.
okay, so what are the uses of response entity?
Response entity. Yeah.
Uh,
So here, we, suppose if you are hitting any database, you are API, or else you are sending any consuming any third-party API, so we will get the some response. So instead of
mm,
maintaining one that response one object in Java Bean class, it may be any Java class, we can
mm,
maintain that response in the form of response entity. So in the response entity, in the come of extra properties as well. So those may be like HTTP status code.
mm,
So this kind
okay,
of
okay.
information they have, like body and headers body. So
Mm,
we need only the body of that response. You will get
yeah,
that
yeah,
body
yeah.
message and you will render to the browser point of view. Along with we can send it the status codes as well.
Okay. So what should be the delete API method status code be?
Delete method.
Status code, delete method API status code. Let's say you
Delete.
have implemented a delete API, right?
Yeah.
And what should you return the status code to the front end or anywhere in the
Yes,
response?
status code. We will get some response. Delete successfully deleted something, but status code.
We have a lot of multiple status
Hmm.
codes, right?
Yes,
200, 500,
100
504,
series, 400
400.
series, and 500
Yeah, yeah,
series. Yeah,
yeah. So yes, I just want to ask the status code for delete API.
delete. Successfully delete what? I think success means can send it. We can send it the 200 series response like status code.
Ah, yes, we can send.
We can send it, but
Yeah, so okay, so the good practice is if the delete API is returning some response body,
hmm,
so the status code should be 200. If there is no content, then it should be 204.
not 4. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Something is returning, so then we can send it as 200 response. If not, it
Uh,
is returning. Just we are giving.
yeah,
Then we
this
just
is a good practice only. Otherwise, if for every case we can return 200, that is
200. Yeah,
also fine.
200. Yeah. So okay.
Uh,
Thanks.
yeah, so moving to the next question. So, have you handled timeout things while implementing an API?
Timeouts not it. I think
Let's say if API is taking more than 30 seconds or what, so have you implemented something related to timeout error?
threads we have. I think no, not yet implemented.
So do you know like if you get a chance, so how will you implement it?
Like we can use here the threads concept here.
Which concepts?
Threads to improve the
Threads.
API performance,
Hmm.
like caching techniques as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can use it.
I think I'm not sure on this. We can use thread for just improving things, but I'm saying like if API is failing, I mean, if API is taking a lot of time, so in that case, how can we just how can we just understand like this API is taking time, just now return some timeout error. So how would you implement this? We have some circuit breakers. I think we can implement those
Yeah, in microservice,
in
yeah.
microservice architecture.
Yeah, instead of sending that error message, we can send some
Mm.
fallback response as well. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Circuit break pattern implementation. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and
So.
yes.
Mhm, mhm. Okay. So, how does basic authentication work in REST API?
So basic authentications means
Means
like identify
basic. Uh, yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
like authentication, basic authentication.
Basic authentication means, let's say, if someone is creating a personal project, or if someone is new into this securing API, so what
Yeah,
would be the
yes,
basic?
yeah, yeah. For that one, first we need to identify the user by using some credentials. Maybe they have the username passwords. So we can identify that users is, then we can authenticate. Once the user is authenticated successfully, then we can provide the access to the their
Mm-hmm.
responding based on their roles. We can provide the access for the required URLs, like required REST
Mm-hmm.
URLs.
Okay, okay. So how would you configure course policies in your Spring Boot application to accept cross-origin requests from a specific front-end domain?
Yeah, I think I have faced an issue. So we have an annotations at cross origin
Mm-hmm.
annotation.
Mm-hmm.
So here we need to pass that URL, which is that our
Yeah, so I
internal
think adding
URL.
this cross-origin at the class level of the controller, so we can get rid of this error, these issues.
Yeah, we can
And
use
we
at method level also, right? At
method
cross annotation.
level, I think I'm not sure on this. Uh, can try.
Yeah, I think I heard about. I think so. That's why.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, then we'll try. No issue. So yeah, so this will help us to like reduce these issues, and we can customize this as per our need. Let's say if we don't want to configure for all the APIs, if we just want to include for some, so we can configure it.
Yeah.
So how would you secure sensitive data in a Spring Boot application that is accessed by multiple users with different roles?
Sensitive data, like which means yeah. Like sensitive data, we can say suppose we have username passwords. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
username we can able to expose, but if password we cannot be exposed to that any outside. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to store the, maybe it's a database password, it may be any other passwords we can
Mm-hmm.
use in that, we can need to save. So by using some encryption techniques we have, like by bcrypt encoder, password encoders we have made especially.
Mm-hmm.
So in that we have multiple ways, like no password. So it should be
Mm-hmm.
saving in the form of text format only. So if we need to store
Okay.
in our password in the form of encrypted manner, we have bcrypt password encoder. And so we need
Okay.
to, while validating, we can able to fetch the password, we can encrypt, and then we will
Mm.
validate by using the password as well. So these mechanism
Okay.
is
So
there.
did you get a chance to implement encryption and decryption things in any of the project?
So not in the client project. For
Mm.
personally, I have I'm implementing on applications. So here I'm using this technique. Like, so initially I have
Okay.
used the Novo password only for my basic authentications.
Mm.
So later I have my choosing the bcrypt password encoder.
So do you know about cryptographic hashing?
Cryptography, no, not yet.
Okay, okay,
Not
no worries.
about.
Mm. And are you familiar with any specific tools or practices for monitoring logs?
Yeah, for monitoring logs, I have knowledge on the ELK, like Elasticsearch as well, to monitoring the logs, exception logs. But
Elasticsearch.
yeah, I have the only basic idea about that exception, Elasticsearch, how it is working.
Okay.
Yeah, but not real time experience, like
Not real time experience.
not real time. So
Okay, no worries. But one thing, so in your project, how do you monitor logs? Let's say if some issue comes, so you don't need to check the codes before checking the codes. We
yeah.
check the logs.
Yeah, as I mentioned, let's just we are deploying the WAR file in that remote server. So here
Mm-hmm.
there is no code. So just if you have any issue with that, any production, any dev environment, so just we need to go through that log files. So we are generating the log files in that machine itself on separate directory. So first we need to
Okay, okay.
go through that log files, and then we need to identify the issue where it is.
Got it.
So then we will come back to that our local machines. Then we will
Mm.
overcome that issue. Maybe so it's that we need to find that root cause. Then we need to identify. Then we need to resolve that issue. Then again we need to deploy the WAR file. Same that machine.
Okay. So how do you manage dependencies in a Maven project?
Dependencies, yeah, even projects we are using the POM file, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here we are declaring the required dependencies. Few of them are using the some starter dependencies as well,
Mm-hmm.
and some normal dependencies like dev tools, and we are connecting to the database MySQL connector as well. We are
Mm-hmm.
adding the form of dependencies.
So do you know about the class path?
Yes, yeah, class path. So what
So
are the
what?
dependencies that we are adding? So it should be come up with in the form of class path. It will be added to the class
Okay.
path.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So how would you revert a changes in a Git if you accidentally pushed a bug to the main branch?
Yeah. Okay. So first it means we have already committed code in the main
Yeah, yeah.
branch. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
First we need
Accidentally.
yeah, accidentally. So first here we can use the rebase. No, we will
Okay.
get the latest commit. So based on the commit ID, we can revert the changes. Some rebase commands are is there. Git rebase and commit
So the
ID.
easiest way is to just go to the GitHub or GitLab wherever you have committed and just go to the options and revert. But through the commands, we need to write some commands. So can you tell me those commands?
Yeah, commands. We have head and git head. Find to the next branch. Exactly, not sure. Not
Hmm.
collecting that command exactly.
Okay, so we can use a get revert command to create a
What
new commit. Yeah, get revert
commit
command.
ID we have to pass it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
for that reason, we are individually we are creating the multiple branches. So we are maintaining this like instead of
Okay.
putting that code to the main branch, we are creating
Hmm.
individual branches for that reason.
Okay.
Sometimes
No, no issues.
revert and commit.
Uh, hmm.
Yes, yeah. Just I'm collecting the comment. Revert, git
Okay,
revert.
okay. Yeah, yeah. So, what is the purpose of unit testing in software
Yeah,
development life cycle?
yeah, we have that few team test cases as well, complete applications. Yeah. As
Mm-hmm.
per the development point of view, we need to perform basic, testing. Is it required to perform? So then we can then we can able to say that what are the APIs that we have implemented. So
Mm-hmm.
those endpoints has been executed successfully. Some may like sample data we can
Mm-hmm.
able to identify before going to that any testing environment. So it is required
Mm-hmm.
to implement as in the point of development, point of the
Okay.
development side is it required to implement. So
Okay,
then
okay.
from also it has to required, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so one more thing, Vamsi Krishna. So you have Eclipse in your machine?
Yeah, I
Eclipse
think
or
we are using
any editor, any ID,
yeah STS we are using.
STS. Okay. So I am just sharing you some code, two coding problem, one by
Okay.
one, and you just need to share your screen. Okay, and
Okay.
you just need to write the code and run.
Yeah, sure.
Can you share your screen and open any editor? Online editor is also fine. Your system is not working properly. So let me tell you, tell me the solutions verbally. So let me repeat question again. Okay, so the first question is, you are given an array containing 0 and 1s only. Okay, your task is to keep all zeros on the left hand side and all ones on the right hand side. So how will you solve this problem in Java?
So it means we need to sort that array. So we can use that sorting methods. So
Okay,
we
you
can
can
achieve the
use
sort method. So
sort method.
it will come up with the first zeros and then
First
next
zeros
strings,
and then
and
one.
then yeah we
But
can
but the but the time complexities would be O and log n, right?
yeah So
Yeah.
we
How
can
can we
use,
reduce it?
okay, so we can use some iterations approach by using the for loop. We can able to iterate. So
Hmm.
using some thought, but another one temporary variable. So
Now, how will you use, I mean, solve this by iterating? Can you please explain?
yeah, okay. I will try to write the code. I think now it's all opening.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I will share my screen. I will try to, yeah, yeah, I will try to. So just I'm taking one array as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is array I'm taking. So we can
Mm-hmm.
use that sort method as well. So instead of sort method, we can use some by using for loop. We can able to iterate. So here I will take one temporary variable.
Okay. We can use sort methods, but that will
No,
lead to higher complexities.
yeah, we can use some normal for loop. Just I will get that first iterations array dot length. So I close this. Yeah. So then I will take it another iteration loop for here. Another integers. So here how I'm verifying means, so sorry, here I need to take, so I plus one, I think plus two.
So why are you taking two loops? Because if you again use two loops, then again the code will lead to higher complexities, right? That's why we just don't want to use a sorting algorithm because of higher complexities.
So instead of two loops, okay,
I'm just giving you a hint. Try using one loop. Can we solve through only one loop?
only one loop.
Hmm. Can we count something here and store? Can we count one? How many ones are there and zeros are there and store in the different variables,
Yes, yeah,
and then print the one as per their count and zero as per their count. Print first one, then print second zero, or putting into the array.
another array.
No, in the same array. So what I'm trying to say is, let's say you have this array, right? It is containing 11001010. Okay, we can initialize two counter variables. First is count one, second is count zero. Count one is storing the values of one, like how many times one is occurring, and count zero is counting zeros. Okay, so in this loop we will check, I mean, like we can do, like if ai is equal to 1, so we can increase the count 1. If ai is equal to 0, we can increment the count 0. So by ending of this loop, we will be knowing how many ones are there and how many zeros are there. Okay, did you get it?
Yeah,
and,
get
and
it.
then again in the second loop, we will traverse the array, and first we will try to finish the count 1, because count 1 means how many times 1 are there, and we will decrease count 1 one by one. Let's say we will add a zeroth one, and then we will decrease one value from the count 1 value. Did you got it?
Yes, got it, but somewhat confusing is there. So if okay, first I will find that number of ones as how many are there. So we need to store any array, or else just you need to store only one integer variable.
Integer variable. So see, let's say you have count one variable, you have count zero variable. Count one will be 4 because we have four ones.
Hmm.
Count zero will be 4 because we have four zeros.
4 times will be increment. Okay.
4 times. And now we will use while loop, and inside the while loop we can put count 1 minus minus. Okay, so means when we have count, when we have, I mean, count is greater than 0, we will go into the while loop, otherwise not. And till it becomes 0, we will put value 1 into the array from starting. And then we will go to the second while loop, that is for count 0. So by doing this, I think we can solve this problem by ON algorithm.
Yeah. OM. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Now moving to the next question. Uh, you have to find the duplicate element and its occurrence in a given string using Java streams. Can you solve this into the Java streams by using Java streams?
Okay. Suppose if you have
Mm.
one string.
Okay,
Okay.
just
Just
forget about occurrences. Just find the duplicate elements only.
duplicates characters.
Yeah, duplicate characters.
Yeah. Okay. Suppose if I take
Or just return how many duplicate elements are there.
count, we can able to display.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You can use normal for loops as well over here. Can implement. Suppose if I will take it one. Here I'm taking one string. We have multiple duplicate characters are there.
Mm. Mm.
So here also we can take two for loops to combined. Two we can
Can we solve this through Java Streams API?
Java Stream APIs.
Mm. Like dot filter, dot map, dot this. Are you familiar?
Yeah, streams are there, but here finding exact duplicate characters can pass a predicate over here. So we,
Mm. Okay, just then
okay, I
do
can
some.
use normal for loops here. We
Yeah,
can
yeah.
implement. Okay, I will try this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I will try to. So normal. So then I need to get that. First I need to get one character. So I'm getting every character, storing one character array. Take it as a loop as well. Plus one. I'm getting the 50 character. First one, if character verifying every character, then comparing the two characters. First character V, and then next character J. First will be V, comparing every V character. Then it has to be print.
Yeah, okay. So I understood your approach. Let's see.
I think we can print here I as well.
You are just trying two loops.
You can see what is the output as well. Okay. Ch of I equal to ch of j. It is array required but character not found.
So CH is a character and you are comparing like CH
Character.
as an array.
Yes, yeah, I need to compare.
So it should be CH is equal to str uh, of J.
Caret of I. Yes. Then we can compare like this str of I. Caret of
Okay, so that is fine. Vamsi, I just understood what you are trying to do.
yes,
You
okay.
are using two loops, and for each
Direct.
character, you are finding the other duplicate character. Okay,
Yes, yeah,
so
yeah.
that is fine. But we can also solve this problem with, I think, map.
Map.
Yeah, map. It is also fine, but map is also fine. We can just produce some code and things. Okay.
Yes, sure, okay.
Yeah.